Breaking! A fearless young striker has just thrown down the biggest challenge of his career, and the entire Muay Thai world is paying attention. Moments after earning the opportunity of a lifetime, Rifdean Masdor didn't ask for an easy debut, didn't call out a safe opponent, and didn't celebrate for long. Instead, he looked directly toward the throne and sent a message to the most dominant atomweight champion in the sport. That single decision has instantly changed the conversation around one championship. Because when an ambitious contender publicly targets a champion many consider nearly untouchable, the road ahead becomes far more dangerous than anyone imagined. This isn't just another post-fight interview. This is the beginning of a potential collision that could reshape an entire division. Rifdean Masdor has spent years climbing through relentless competition, but everything accelerated after his explosive performance inside Bangkok's legendary Lumpini Stadium. The Malaysian star entered the fight carrying enormous expectations, yet nobody knew just how spectacular the ending would become. From the opening exchange, his confidence was impossible to ignore. He controlled the distance, stayed composed under pressure, and forced his opponent into uncomfortable positions almost immediately. Every strike carried purpose, every movement showed preparation, and every second pushed him closer toward a career-changing breakthrough. Then came the moment that stunned everyone watching. Rifdean unleashed a devastating finishing sequence that ended the contest before the first round could even fully develop. The knockout wasn't simply another victory on his record. It was a statement that echoed throughout one championship. Fans erupted, commentators exploded with excitement, and suddenly all eyes shifted away from the result itself toward what might happen next. The celebration had barely begun before an even bigger announcement transformed the atmosphere inside the arena. Because that spectacular finish earned Rifdean something every rising fighter dreams about: a lucrative six-figure contract and an official place on one championship's main roster. For many athletes, reaching that level represents the final destination after years of sacrifice. For Rifdean, however, it became the starting point of an even greater ambition. While emotions filled the arena, he remained surprisingly calm during his interview. Gratitude came first as he thanked his coaches, teammates, supporters, and everyone who believed in him throughout the difficult journey. But beneath that humility, another emotion was becoming impossible to hide: hunger. The hunger wasn't satisfied by contracts, bonuses, or headlines. His eyes were already focused on something much larger. Then came the sentence that instantly grabbed international attention. Instead of asking for time to settle into the division, instead of requesting another contender, Rifdean openly challenged one atomweight Muay Thai world champion Nadaka. The crowd immediately realized they had just witnessed far more than an emotional celebration. They had witnessed the birth of an entirely new rivalry. Calling out Nadaka is unlike calling out any ordinary champion. The Japanese superstar has built a reputation through extraordinary technical precision, elite timing, relentless discipline, and performances that leave even experienced analysts searching for weaknesses. Across multiple appearances, he has consistently demonstrated why many consider him one of the finest Muay Thai technicians competing today. Opponents arrive believing they have discovered the perfect strategy, only to leave frustrated after watching Nadaka dismantle those plans piece by piece. His footwork frustrates aggressive attackers. His counters punish hesitation. His ring IQ transforms small mistakes into decisive moments. Every successful title defense has strengthened the growing belief that defeating him may require something truly exceptional. That's exactly why Rifdean's challenge shocked so many observers. Most newcomers prefer building momentum before targeting the champion. Rifdean skipped every step in between. His confidence wasn't fueled by arrogance. Instead, it came from years spent believing he belonged among the very best. During his emotional interview, he revealed something that made the story even more fascinating. Nadaka wasn't merely another champion standing in his way. He had been an inspiration throughout Rifdean's own journey. Imagine training for years while watching one athlete dominate the sport, learning from that champion's performances, admiring his achievements, and then finally reaching the stage where you can challenge him directly. That's exactly the position Rifdean now finds himself in. He openly admitted that Nadaka is his idol, but admiration has now transformed into competitive ambition. Instead of remaining a fan forever, he wants to test himself against the fighter he respects most. That combination of respect and determination creates one of the most compelling storylines in combat sports. There is no bitterness, no personal hatred, and no manufactured controversy. Only one talented contender determined to discover whether he truly belongs among the elite. But what happened next made the entire situation even more interesting, because the timing of this challenge could not have been more dramatic. Nadaka continues standing at the top after proving once again why he holds championship gold. His recent victories have reinforced his reputation as a nearly flawless competitor capable of adapting against every style placed in front of him. Analysts praise his consistency, rivals respect his composure, and fans admire the calm confidence he brings into every championship appearance. Challenging that version of Nadaka isn't simply courageous. It may be the toughest assignment available anywhere in the atomweight division. Still, Rifdean appears completely comfortable embracing that enormous risk. His words carried absolute conviction when he declared that becoming one world champion is now the only goal worth chasing. That declaration instantly raised countless questions across the combat sports community. Has Rifdean earned his opportunity faster than expected, or is he taking the biggest gamble of his entire career? Supporters argue his recent knockout streak proves he belongs among the elite. Skeptics believe the jump toward the reigning champion could arrive too soon. Every opinion only adds more fuel to an already growing debate. Social media quickly filled with passionate reactions as fans imagined how such a contest might unfold. Some praised Rifdean's fearless mentality, believing future champions must think exactly this way before achieving greatness. Others warned that challenging a master technician without additional experience could become a painful lesson. The discussion refused to slow down. And with every passing hour, curiosity surrounding this potential matchup continued growing stronger than ever. Yet behind all the excitement lies one question that nobody can answer with certainty. Is this dream fight actually closer than anyone realizes, or is another unexpected obstacle about to change everything before the champion and challenger ever share the same ring? The answer may depend on far more than confidence alone, because reaching a world title fight inside one championship requires perfect timing, consistent performances, and proving beyond any doubt that you belong with the absolute best. Rifdean Masdor understands that reality better than anyone, yet instead of backing away from the pressure, he has embraced it completely. Every training session from this point forward carries greater meaning. Every opponent becomes another step toward the summit, and every victory brings him closer to the opportunity he has already demanded. That mindset separates ordinary prospects from genuine title contenders, because true challengers never wait for history to find them. They chase it relentlessly. Across the atomweight Muay Thai division, fighters are now watching the situation closely. A newcomer arriving with explosive momentum always changes the competitive landscape, especially when he immediately targets the reigning king. Veterans who expected to move toward championship contention suddenly find themselves sharing the spotlight with an athlete whose confidence has captured headlines around the world. That kind of attention cannot be ignored, and it places even greater expectations on Rifdean every time he steps through the ropes. One mistake could slow his momentum, while another spectacular finish could make his championship ambitions impossible to deny. But the biggest twist was still coming, because this story is about more than rankings or title opportunities. It is about the emotional journey of an athlete who once looked up to Nadaka as the standard of excellence. Every champion inspires the next generation, yet very few members of that next generation rise quickly enough to challenge the person who motivated them in the first place. Rifdean now stands in that rare position. The admiration remains genuine, but inside the ring, respect never replaces competition. Once the opening bell rings, friendship, inspiration, and personal history disappear. Only skill, preparation, courage, and execution remain. That possibility alone gives this potential matchup a unique emotional layer, unlike most championship fights. Nadaka, meanwhile, has built his reputation by refusing to underestimate anyone. Champions who stay on top for long periods rarely survive through talent alone. They survive because they prepare for every opponent, as though that challenger represents the greatest threat of their career. Nadaka's discipline has become legendary among fans and analysts alike. He studies opponents carefully, identifies weaknesses with remarkable precision, and makes intelligent adjustments during fights that leave rivals struggling to keep pace. His ability to remain calm under pressure has frustrated aggressive challengers time after time. Many athletes begin confidently against him, only to discover that every round becomes increasingly difficult as Nadaka slowly takes complete control. That is exactly why experts continue debating whether Rifdean possesses the tools necessary to create genuine problems for the champion. Supporters point toward his finishing power, explosive combinations, and willingness to attack without hesitation. Critics counter by highlighting Nadaka's experience, defensive awareness, and championship composure. On paper, both arguments carry weight, which is precisely why the conversation has become so fascinating. Styles make fights, and sometimes the most dangerous opponent is not the most experienced one, but the athlete arriving with absolute belief and nothing to lose. Rifdean appears determined to become that unpredictable force. His recent performances suggest a fighter growing more confident with every appearance. Instead of fighting cautiously, he trusts his instincts, commits fully to his offense, and refuses to allow pressure to dictate his decisions. Those qualities have earned him victories, contracts, and recognition. But the championship level demands another leap forward. Every weakness becomes easier to expose against elite competition. Every hesitation becomes more expensive. Every opportunity must be seized immediately. If Rifdean eventually receives the title shot he desires, he will enter the biggest night of his professional career, knowing that one unforgettable performance could transform his life forever. Yet another possibility continues hovering over this entire story. One championship has never lacked elite contenders hungry for championship gold. New names continue emerging, established veterans continue winning, and every impressive result reshuffles the title picture. That means Rifdean may need another statement victory before his dream becomes reality. Ironically, that challenge could work in his favor. Another dominant performance would silence doubters, strengthen his resume, and increase anticipation for an eventual clash with Nadaka. Momentum is one of the most powerful forces in combat sports, and right now, Rifdean seems determined to keep that momentum alive. Fans have already started imagining how the fight itself might unfold. Would Rifdean pressure the champion from the opening seconds, attempting to overwhelm him with aggression before Nadaka settles into his rhythm? Or would the champion patiently absorb the early storm before showcasing the technical brilliance that has carried him to the top? Those questions remain unanswered, but every prediction only increases excitement surrounding the possibility. Sometimes the greatest fights begin long before contracts are signed. They begin with belief, ambition, and one fearless call-out that captures everyone's imagination. That is exactly what happened here. One knockout victory created a career-changing opportunity. One emotional interview became an international headline. One respectful challenge transformed into one of the division's most intriguing storylines. Whether the fight happens next, later, or after several more victories, the seed has already been planted. The combat sports world now knows exactly what Rifdean Masdor wants, and he has made it clear that nothing less than the one atomweight Muay Thai World Championship will satisfy his ambition. Until the final decision is made, every appearance by Rifdean will be watched through a different lens. Every win will bring fresh questions. Every finish will reignite calls for the title fight. Every success will move him one step closer to standing across the ring from the athlete he once admired from afar. And if that unforgettable night finally arrives, it won't simply be another championship contest. It will be the moment when a fearless challenger attempts to turn inspiration into history, while a dominant champion fights to prove that the throne remains exactly where it belongs. The countdown has unofficially begun, And now the only question left is whether destiny will allow these two extraordinary fighters to meet before another massive twist changes the entire future of the atomweight division forever.